Good morning and thanks for joining us for KBUI 2 News Midday. I'm Rick Douglas. Now to your top 11 stories at 11. Boise police are asking for the public's help in locating the person whom they say was involved in an armed robbery at a bank in Boise around 9:15 this morning. It happened in the 4900 block of West Overland at Orchard. The suspect wore a red or burgundy coat and a purple bandana over the face. If you saw this person enter or exit the bank, you're asked to call 911. State officials this morning are scrambling to address how a last-minute vote Friday night threatens the funding of child support in Idaho. Hours before declaring sine die, a House committee narrowly voted to reject federal child support rules. Those opposed said they feared passing the bill would mean Idaho would have to enforce child support decisions by foreign jurisdictions, including Sharia law. Without a reversal, Idaho loses not only tens of millions in federal funding, but also the tools to police child support payments.
We have 60 days to get back into state plan requirements. If we do, then nothing changes. If we don't, then the money stops and the tools stop.
The Idaho Statesman reports that several conservative lawmakers, including Lynn Luker of Boise and Cheryl Nuxall of Cottonwood, were told the legislation would actually strengthen the state's ability to deal with foreign governments, but they voted no anyway. A spokesman for the Department of Health and Welfare says the state system faces being dismantled. Gas prices are going down in many states as refineries get ready for the busy summer driving season, but drivers in Idaho aren't seeing any relief just yet. Idaho's average is $2.50. That's up 2 cents from last week. The national average is $2.39. AAA predicts summer gas prices, though, could be the cheapest in 6 years. About 200 people are sick after a norovirus outbreak. It hit 2 cruise ships heading for San Diego. It is the third time the celebrity Infinity has had problems with the gastrointestinal illness. The other incidents were in 2006 and 2013. Passengers say the cruise staff took quick action to prevent the sickness from spreading. Flying is only getting more frustrating for airline passengers. A new study gave the airline industry its worst report card in 5 years. It found that last year more flights were late, more bags were lost, and customers made more complaints. Among the better airlines, Virgin America ranked first, and Alaska came in 5th. 3 Napa City Council seats will be ready for the November election. This as Council President Stephen Krenn announces that he won't run for a 6th term. Krenn has served for the past 2 decades. He'll leave seat 2 open, and in fact, all the even-numbered seats, 2, 4, and 6, will be up for grabs. One man is recovering, and this man's in jail after a bar fight turned into a shooting in northern Idaho. The Kootenai County Sheriff arrested Michael Couture. 2 men left the bar in Hauser after the fight Sunday night, and a short time later, someone called to say a man was lying wounded outside a nearby house. This morning, we know more about a house fire yesterday on West Heron. It started just before 8. A passerby called for help after seeing smoke come from the attic. Investigators say the fire was started by old wiring in the attic. The family was evacuated safely. It took fire crews about 30 minutes to get the fire under control. Well, get your resume ready. Omega RV is looking to hire 150 people over the next several months to help with manufacturing. These jobs will open up at the facility in Caldwell, and the company already has plans for an additional facility. Today marks 150 years since President Abraham Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth. His assassination came just 5 days after Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox. The ceremony signaled the end of the bloody Civil War that had consumed Lincoln's presidency. His death rocked the nation, and it reverberates even today.
What failed and began to fail that night is something which got played out through all the long history of segregation, of Jim Crow, of discrimination, of bigotry. We still struggle with that today. We are still dealing with the after effects of the death of Abraham Lincoln.
Now, to mark the anniversary of Lincoln's death, tomorrow there will be a ceremony at noon on the Capitol Mall in Boise. It will include a wreath laying at the Lincoln statue at Capitol and Bannock Streets, a 21-gun salute by reenactors in Civil War uniforms, and speeches by local officials. Lake Lowell opens for boating tomorrow, and that means Deer Flat Wildlife Refuge will also reopen the Lower Dam Recreation Area and all boat ramps. Be aware there are new regulations for boaters that include additional no-wake zones, including new ones through the Narrows and on the south side of the lake.